Looking at EURUSD, we just have a market structure shift to the downside. So likely might be seeing more drop in EURUSD price, actually dropping all the way further, all the way to this area here. We can actually see that the market is totally changing from a bullish zone, a change of character, a market structure shift. Welcome to the channel. This is Trade with Joseph. In today's video, we want to do a proper top-down analysis on EURUSD and as well the dollar index. What exactly is happening in the market and what are we going to be expecting for the next leg? I'm going to start this top-down analysis from the weekly time frame, and I'm going to be showing you exactly what might be happening for the EURUSD in the coming weeks to come. So looking at the market structure from this side on the weekly time frame with the top-down analysis, we can actually see that what price is clearly in an uptrend. We had a higher high, a higher low. We had another new higher high. We had a higher low. We had a higher high, a higher low, then a higher high. Then what's happening here will break this structure, having a change in trend from an uptrend. We're likely going to be seeing more of a downtrend. So this is the structure on the weekly time frame. You can see I'm just going to put that right here. So this is the structure that the weekly time frame is printing to us and what exactly we are seeing that is happening on the weekly time frame. So I'm going to be going straight to the daily time frame and let's see what the daily time frame is actually saying to as well. So from the daily time frame, we can actually see a lot of structures printing out here. So looking at it from the daily time frame, we had a higher high, a higher low. We had another higher high, higher low, a higher high, a higher low. We had higher high again. We had higher low. We had another higher high, higher low. Then we had what we had this. We had a higher high. And what will break this low, which is confirming to us that the trend is about to change. So now I'm going to pull this daily structure right here beside here, and I'm going to pull this this is the daily structure here. So this is the weekly structure and this is the daily structure, right? So looking at the daily structure, so if you try to understand what is happening right here, are we in an uptrend looking at this price action here, or we are in a downtrend? And also looking at the daily structure, are we in an uptrend or in a downtrend? Now this is it here. So we could actually see that this was the low here, all right? So this was the high. For this price to remain in an uptrend, this low should never be taken out. And if I just draw a trend line, a straight line right straight to this point here, we can actually see that this low is being broken already. So which the weekly time frame, which the daily time frame right here is signifying to us that we are in a downtrend at the moment. And looking at this weekly structure here, because this is a structure we draw on the weekly time frame, if I actually put a straight line right here from this point again to this point, you can actually see that yes, the weekly time frame actually also confirm that we are in a downtrend. So now two time frame is already telling us we are in a downtrend. Now how do we anticipate and getting for this big move that is about happening on Hero U? So now we are going to go straight to the 4 hours time frame. So we are our daily weekly structure here. This is the weekly structure. This is the daily structure, and we are going to go straight to the 4 hours time frame. Let's see what the 4 hours time frame too is actually saying as well. So I'm just going to mark. I'm just going to use this area as my 4 hour area. This area here. So we could actually see that right here we had a clear break of structure to the upside here. So this was our BOS for trend continuation, and right here price what, and when we had this break of structure, the low that break the structure was this particular low. So price should never trade below this particular low that is here on the 4 hours time frame, right? And for us to continue that uptrend, and if you actually look in this scenario here, right here to this point, we could actually see that this particular low was taken. So which is now signifying to us that what we are now clearly in a downtrend. But what exactly are we going to get in for this trade? So which now the daily time frame and 4 hours time frame, even the weekly time frame is saying the same thing. So I'm actually going to draw all the structure I can actually see right here on the 4 hours time frame. So this is all the structure that we can actually see on the 4 hours time frame. And now I'm going to take this structure and look at which particular time frame does this structure fit in very well, right? So we have the weekly here and we have the daily at the downside. So we're just actually going to put this to the daily time frame because this is the structure we have. So where exactly does this structure fit in? All right, so you can actually see that this structure fits in to this area. So you can actually see all this area here, we don't need them anymore. So this is actually the new area which we are interested in trading all this trade down here. So we have it like this. So if I move this to the backside, this is actually the area that's waiting for the weekly. So this is the area, and for the 4 hours, this is the whole area we had right here. All right, we had right here. So this is the 4 hour structure, which is also saying the same thing that the weekly and the daily time frame is saying. So which this is very, very clear that we are now what in a clear downtrend. These three time frame you see right here, I use them for analysis. Then from 3 hours, 4 hours. So let me just text this out. So from 3H time frame, 2H time frame, 2H time frame, 1H time frame, 30 minutes time frame, and 15 minutes time frame. That is where I look for entry. So this first time frame is where I use my as my entry, and this three time frame here is what I use for analysis. I'm done with analysis, analyzing from the weekly time frame to the 4 hours time frame. And now what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be looking for entry on the 3, 2, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whichever time frame I call get a perfect entry. All right. So now I'm going to, since the weekly is bearish, and we also add the day bearish and 4 hours bearish. Now I'm going to delete the weekly, so I'm just going to be working with the 4 hours and the daily time frame. All right. So that is the time frame we are interested in. So looking at this structure on the 4 hours time frame, I'm just going to put this 4 hours time frame structure right below here. I'm going to be going straight to the next time frame on my watch list where I'll be looking for entries and everything. But before I go, the last thing I'm going to do on this higher time frame is what I call the Fibonacci. I'm going to put the Fibonacci to know exactly where I'm going to be interested in getting in this zone. So we had from this high, we had a pull down back here, we had another high, we had another low right here, we had another high, we had a very close low right here. All right, then we had another high, we had another low right here. So presently from this high here all the way to this bottom, it is where I want to be looking for entry, right? So, and the two zones which I'm interested in getting in for this trade is the Fibonacci OTE zone or this Fibonacci golden zone. These are the two time frame which I be looking for my entry. So in this scenario, and I also be using my other entry confirmation, the other block, and the rest. All right. So now I know the time frame which I'm going to be working with. So I'll be going straight to the 1 hour time frame, and I'll only be looking for this structure so I can get a very perfect entry right from this time frame out here. So I'm going to be going straight to the 1 hour. So looking at it, this is the structure right here from the 1 hour. So I'm just going to throw out this structure I have here on the 1 hour time frame. So you can actually see this is the structure here. So at the moment on this 1 hour time frame, this is the structure we had here. So I'm now going to correlate the structure to what I saw on the 4 hours time frame. All right. So now I'm going to bring the structure of the 4 hours time frame very, very close to right here now. Now this is the 4 hours time frame structure, and this is the 1 hour time frame structure. So I'm going to put this structure right here. This is where the structure actually fits in very, very well here. So I'm just going to, okay, pardon me. Okay, this is the structure right here. All right. So looking at this structure right here on the 1 hour time frame. So looking at this structure, are we actually bullish or we are bearish? On this 1 hour time frame, I always tell you that we are what? We are very, very, very bullish. So this is it because you can see a new break of structure here. This was the last two on the 1 hour time frame, but 4 hours is bearish. So now we need this 1 hour time frame structure to also be in line with the 4 hours time frame. That is where we can get our entry. Even if I go lower in time frame using the 30 minutes entry model and everything, I still need to see the structure bearish. So now since this structure is bullish, that is telling us that 30 minutes time frame is also going to be bullish. So you have to make sure this structure also what now start moving in the direction of this 4 hours time frame. And this structure that is very bullish is telling us that from this leg we had here to this bottom here. So if I use the Fibonacci right from here to this point, it's telling us that we are still trading below the 50% retracement. Probably price is retracing to get to the OTE zone or the Fibonacci golden zone, then give us a change in trend confirmation on the 1 hour, then we get in. So this is what this structure is saying on the 4 hours time frame. All right. So that is why this guy is still bullish actually to give us the retracement that we needed on the 4 hours. Then once we switch to bearish on the 1 hour, then you're going to see the 4 hour structure. This actually going to be in line with the 4 hour structure too as well. So now this is the 1 hour time frame. Where exactly are we going to be getting in? So I'm just going to be waiting for price to get to this OTE zone. So I'm just going to be waiting for price to get to this OTE zone, which is our optimal trade entry. So right, anything from this zone this Fibonacci golden zone all the way to this OT zone. That is where I want to be looking for entry. So I've combined like two zones together right here. So anyway, we see a change in trend from a bullish market we are having right now to a bearish market. That's where I'm going to be getting in. So which is what this was now. This is a new high, a low, a high. So probably if we are to see a change in trend, we're actually going to be seeing something like this, then like a retracement. So now once this low is taken out, we have retracement, then I can start selling all the way to the downside. So that is just what we are waiting for. But presently we are still very, very bullish. So the areas where price might likely be reversing is somewhere this area or this one. So I'm not going to predict where exactly the market is going to be acting until the market gives that clear direction where it's actually going to be trading into. So if you actually go to the 30 minutes time frame where it's going to be more interested, we can actually see that this zone is very, very, we had a zone right here. Is this zone mitigated? No. So I'm just going to delete this so we can actually see where exactly we are trading into. Is this zone mitigated? No, you can see very close to it, but didn't mitigate it. So price might be interested in approaching that zone using this guy as a liquidity. All right. So this is just what I'll be waiting for, and the which is what I'll be using to trade. And you can actually see this in my Fibonacci from the high to the low. You can actually see that we are still trading below the 50% retracement. So this is the confirmation I need. And once I get that confirmation, I need to see that change in trend, which I also told you that this 30 minutes time frame is actually going to be very, very bearish. So which you can see here, this is the moment. So this is where price is actually is at the moment. And if you actually carry the structure and what, so let me just delete the Fibonacci, I mean. So if you actually carry the structure, so I'm going to delete the 4 hours. The 4 hours has done what it needs to do. So if you actually carry this 30-minute structure and put it into this 1 hour structure, this is exactly what you're going to have. So you can actually see they look very, very similar, still in an uptrend. So we need to see that market switching from a very bullish move to a down to a bearish move. So now this is a new low that we had here that broke this above the structure. So though it's an internal low, but can actually be used as a change in trend. So until we approach this zone and let's see what exactly is going to be happening on this particular zone, then we can start looking for a selling opportunity. Can start looking for a selling opportunity. And if you actually check from the this lower time frame structure, we had a break of structure to the downside here. So we can see here. So you can actually see we're in a downtrend. Then we had a break of structure from this point here. So these are our BOS. So these are BOS. We had the BOX here. And once we add the BOX, you want to wait for price to pull into at least the Fibonacci golden zone or the OTE trading zone. And though the best entry model right now at the moment I'm speaking is the Fibonacci OTE zone, which is all these zone that is here. So anyway, you add confirmation of changing trend, so you can actually see can actually be having something like this. This price continue pulling up here like this, continue pulling up, and we have something like this. Then you will just see price now taking all this low that is here. Then wait for retracement, maybe to half of this move that drop this structure. Then now we will start selling. Then we start selling all the way to this area. This our Fibonacci extension, which you add right here, and this Fibonacci extension right here. This is actually what we're going to be waiting for confirmation before we get in this trade. All right, so the confirmation. So you can see this move here. This is the 30-minute move, right? And this down one is the 1 hour move. So the 1 hour move is just this move here, and the 30-minute move is actually this same move we had here. We are actually going to go straight to the XY. Let's see what exactly the XY is also saying as well. So once you know what the XY is saying, you can just use the correlation to trade TPP USD and every other pair that is correlated to USD that you want to trade. So this is the DXY right here. So let's just go straight to the DXY. So I can actually see from the 4 hour time frame right here, we can see that the DXY broke structure to the downside here. And after we broke structure to the downside here, we now what the last high that break this structure we had here is what is this particular high here. And what happened if you see what price did right here when it approached this high, we had what, so we have the body of a candle closing above it right here, even on the, so let me just make this straight. So you can see we had a body of a candle closing above it. Now we had about a change of character. So this now become a change of character. Once you see a body of a candle closing above the previous high, now break a previous structure, has become a change of character. So now we had a change of character here, which is the market structure shift. So what are we waiting for? We need to see a very nice pullback before we continue with the trend. So which is telling us that DXY is very, very bullish. And since the DXY is bullish, what are we going to be doing on the OUSD? We are going to be looking for shorts. On GPUSD, we are going to be looking for short, and on the GP and on the AUD as well, we're going to give a shot. But right here, BSY is going for a retracement right now. So let's just wait for that retracement. This was the last internal structure we had here. A higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. So this is the internal structure. But the real external structure that was printed was this. So if you use Fibonacci for this external structure, you may likely be seeing price pulling back into this area or somewhere here before going higher. But if this internal structure still wants to be respected, yes, still wants to be respected, you might actually see price just reacting off somewhere this zone. All right, so of that zone there. So we may actually see price reacting off that zone. Then we might continue with our buying opportunity. All right, so that's the zone. Then we might continue with the buying opportunity. But before then, this is not the right time to get into any trade. You want to be very, very more patient and very conservative so you get in at the right point. All right. So you can actually use the 1 hour for your entry. So you can see this was the zone I marked. So I can just, this is actually some form of a like supply zone. But looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, I think this is where price might be likely interested in pulling back to, using this one as an inducement, tapping into this zone, looking at this structure from the 1 hour time frame. So, and I come to the end of the video. If you find value in this video, want to smash the subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you don't stay updated when I drop a content like this. Then I catch you in the next one. Peace out.